And then, realizing her error, she did a U-turn and parked on the side of the road that she was supposed to be on, the opposite one from back home. This is going to be a challenge. Yeah, that was putting it mildly. She closed her eyes for a moment, sucked in a deep breath, and held it until her lungs started to burn. Then she exhaled on a giant whoosh, picturing all of the bad things in her life leaving her body. The breakup, the disappointments. She tried willing it all away, imagining it dancing off into the dark night. I'm here. She might be crazy for coming to Ireland. She might go insane in the quiet of the small village and want to go screaming back to her trendy condo, her comfortable circuit of art galleries, the Chinese restaurant on the corner where she picked up a standing order of wonton soup and tea every Friday after work. But she was here for 2 months. No high-pressure job at the auction house to worry about, no fiance to please. For the next few months, she was free. The notion was absolutely terrifying. It's not like I'm wasting months of my life. I need to pull it together. This was true enough. In coming to Ireland, Sarah had hoped to clear her mind enough to put some energy toward earning her master's in art history. It seemed like forever ago she had gotten her undergraduate degree. What Sarah had really wanted was to be a painter herself. But her parents had scared her into going the sensible route. Her art history degree earned her a job at the auction house. The position had paid enough for her to afford her trendy apartment. But somehow, it had never been enough. Sarah was hoping her master's would help fill the gap. To make her forget she'd been told she had the talent but lacked the courage to step out on her own. And these were deep thoughts when she was jet-lagged and completely out of her element. It was in the air, she decided. The air here was so crisp, so clean, so completely unlike the nearly constant scent of exhaust back home. Her body didn't know what to do with so much oxygen, and it was making her dizzy. Opening her eyes, Sarah squinted, trying to see through the rain. She had parked in front of a restaurant with bright lights behind foggy windows, and she could hear the faint lilt of what she supposed was Irish music, a place where she could go in and ask for directions to Canmore, or find a room for the night. Instead, Sarah found herself glued to her seat, the nerves that she'd run across the ocean to escape coiling tightly in her belly and threatening to make her explode. None of this was right. In no version of the plan for her future had she noted, get dumped by fiance and run to foreign country. And she was the kind of person who made plans and lists, spreadsheets. She was not the kind of person to rent an apartment over the internet. Not the kind of person to pursue renting that flat, after a brief and completely inappropriate flirtation with her future landlord. Who flirted with someone they'd never met? This Cian Murphy seemed fine with it, but it was yet one more thing that cast Sarah so off balance she was surprised she didn't fall. But when she forced herself to wrench open the car door, when she made herself step out into the never-ending freaking rain to be promptly drenched from head to toe, she stood solidly. The wind that chilled her cheek was cruel enough to have her scurrying on stiff legs to the door of the place where a sign proclaimed it Wild Irish, the pub Cian had told her to stop at to collect her keys, which meant, she supposed, that he was in there to collect the keys from. There were those butterflies again, dancing a jig in her belly. Only she would get flustered by an online flirtation that the man himself probably didn't remember. Other than the lilt of the music and the patter of the rain, the street was utterly silent. It was so very different from what Sarah was used to. Back in Boston, in her uber-chic neighborhood, the noise outside her bedroom window was non-stop. Cars honking, people shouting.